Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be your MC for this evening. I trust that we, like last night, will have another exciting event here at the Mayor Miller Hall. The Lions, who have sponsored this spelling bee for 31 years, this is their 31st year of sponsorship. We are indeed grateful to them for their generosity and for their commitment in nation building. I think I likened it to what Mrs. Mitzi Bailey, the manager of the little RBC Royal Bank just down the road from here by Hurley's, said that RBC Royal Bank believes in nation building, and that is why they have invested in the primary school spelling bee. And we can see the trend from those young people who emerged out of the primary school and on into high school, and now you transition from the RBC spelling bee section into the Lions Club of Grand Cayman spelling bee. And we are indeed grateful for partnership with RBC and of course the Lions. Tonight the focus is on Lions, but I just drew that comparison so you can have a better understanding of the significance of this kind of exchange for students from all of our schools, including the private schools. They have also competed. They got knocked out. The private schools, as you can see, is against 2 government schools, and we are very happy and elated to see that our schools are emerging in the top tier with spelling bees. Last night it was pretty much similar. There was only one primary school, one private primary school that made it through to the finals. The others were all government schools. So we want to say that, thank you to the teachers in our government schools and our parents who are very vigilant and working with our students. With that being said, I would also like to recognize our officials this evening, guests from the ministry. We have Mr. Winston Conley, Counselor in the Ministry of Education, Employment and Gender Affairs. Welcome to you, sir. We also have our Acting Chief Officer, Mr. Christian Suku, from the Ministry of Education, Employment and Gender Affairs. Likewise, from the Department of Education Services, we want to recognize Mrs. Tammy Hopkins. She is our School Improvement Officer for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. She's here to make sure that Cayman Brac does what they came to do. And not only that, she's also the Acting Chief Education Officer because Mrs. Waller is right now on official business out of the country. So Mrs. Hopkins is also the Acting Chief Education Officer at this time. We want to recognize our sponsors, the president of our sponsors, which is the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, Mr. Ray Roberts. He's president of the Lions. And of course, we want to also recognize our competitors. We will be having us take their seats in a little while up on the stage, and this thing will turn around when that happens. But before we get there, I want to call on a good friend of mine, a teacher, a pastor, and a young and beautiful lady. Her name is Reverend Mary Graham. So please come and offer God's blessings on this evening's proceedings.
Good evening to all. I invite us to stand as we bow our heads in prayer. Eternal and ever-loving God, Creator, Guide, Source of all wisdom, we are cognizant that without you we are nothing, and without you we can do nothing. We thank you for this juncture in time and pray that we will recognize you as the source. Even now, we commend into your loving care the young people who will participate in this evening's spelling bee. Calm them, we pray, as you give them the power of recall, so that they can confidently and with integrity participate in this competition. Give them a healthy attitude, we ask. And oh God, be with all those who have come to cheer them on. Help them to recognize that sense of fair play. And at the end of this evening, we pray that all will experience that harmony that comes only from you. Bless the work of the Lions Club of Grand Cayman. Continue to help them to know that when they serve the least, they are serving you. And now, O Father, we lift our voices together to you, praying the prayer that our Savior Jesus Christ taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Graham. We want to move right on, and right now we'll call upon Mr. Winston Conley, Councillor for the Ministry of Education, Employment and Gender, to bring remarks. Mr. Conley.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to bring greetings on behalf of the Honourable Minister Tara Rivers and the entire government. The finals, we're here. The anticipation for the final stage of this competition is certainly high. And I'm excited to see that our own public schools, Lehman Scott and John Gray High School, are here to compete for the title. I think it's another validation of the strength of our public school system. And I'm very proud of the two finalists here tonight. Firstly, I'd like to say a very big thank you to the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, who sponsored the spelling bee for 31 years. I think we owe them a round of applause for that. And I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again tonight. Education is everyone's business. And that means that we must all do our part to ensure that our students are getting the best chance possible at education, so that they are afforded the best chance possible for current and future success. So again, thank you, Lions, for doing your part in investing in the education of our young people. To our two final teams, congratulations to each of you. No matter which of you is named as victor tonight, you've worked hard to be in the final, and I congratulate both of you on making it here. I know all that the finalists have been preparing for this competition, have been putting in an incredible amount of hard work. I'm sure that by being here, you're already seeing that your hard work continues to pay off. And I would only encourage you to continue to recognize that. Parents, I'm sure you've seen your children putting in extra work and have even perhaps had to put in some extra work of your own to support them. So congratulations to you as well for being here. Your hard work is also paying off. I also want to thank you for your continued support of your children's education from the home. Children are a product of their environments, and their being here is evidence that your supportive environment is producing success. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all the teachers that put in a lot of extra time as well, because we know that our teachers are underpaid and overworked. We know that they don't do this for the paycheck. It's because they're passionate about what they're doing. They're passionate about the lives of these children in front of you. So as much as the parents are to be thanked and congratulated, it'd be remiss of me not to thank, and especially thank, the teachers that we entrust them to every day for their part. The Lions' commitment to the Spelling Bee program not only ensures that students have motivation to keep raising the bar, but also provides students with a showcase for their talents that also comes with a bit of healthy competition. I'm looking forward to tonight's events, and I must apologize in advance because I have one more bit of official duty to go on after this, so I will be leaving a bit early, but I will be checking in on who wins tonight. I hope that we can continue to see this competition go on for many, many years, and that the Lions Club tonight says that they're going to do another 31, Mr. Roberts. Students, I wish you luck, but I know you've been working so hard, you don't really need it. And may the best team win. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly, for those kind remarks, and we certainly appreciate it, and I'm sure the Lions Club does appreciate it as well. I now call on my good friend and colleague, the Acting Chief Officer, Mr. Christensen, to bring her remarks.
Good night, everyone. I think Councillor said it all, but I want to just add a little bit to what he said. First of all, I want to speak on the importance of literacy. I think we can all recognize that literacy is important. When we speak in education, we speak about the importance of English and math. Literacy opens doorways for our students. Literacy leads to the world of work. It leads to success in life. It leads to simple things like students not being ripped off because they can't read, right? Practical skills. But literacy is a powerful tool that evens the playing field between our students and the persons that they will compete against in life. So I want to move now to speak a little bit about competition. I'm delighted that we are doing spelling bees. I'm delighted we've been doing this for 31 years. I'm delighted that we give opportunities for our students to compete in friendly atmosphere, in structured environments. And as Acting Chief Officer, that's something that I want to promote more of in the system. I believe in the value of healthy competition. And when we step back and we think about it, from the moment our children leave the confines of our protection in the education system, the protection of our homes as parents, they are competing for everything that they get for the rest of their lives. They will compete for food, they will compete for jobs, they will compete for a spouse. So we have to ensure that they're comfortable with competing, that they're comfortable with walking into competitions and shining in those competitions, that they're comfortable to translate those skills into the world of work, to walk into a job interview, to be able to sell themselves, to be confident about their own skills and capabilities. That is what things like this spelling bee does for our children. And so as I said, I'm very proud of it. I'm looking forward for it to continue, and I'm looking forward for us seeking other opportunities to work with stakeholders and partners within the Ministry of Education to foster competition in various other ways. So I'd like to close by thanking the village that has come together tonight to support our children. As Councillor said, I give thanks to the parents who have worked hard with their children at home to prepare them for this competition. I'd like to thank the teachers who I know have worked very hard with them in school to get them ready. I'd like to thank our sponsors without whom this would not be possible. Once again, the village has come together to raise the child. And this is a moment for us to celebrate, not just whoever wins tonight, but to celebrate the process that we have gone through to get to this point. So lastly, I want to say congratulations to both teams. I won't reveal any bias at all, but I graduated from the Cayman Islands High School, formerly Cayman Islands High School, John Gray High School. And I'm married to a lady from Cayman Brack, so I can leave it at that. But thank you all for coming, and again to the students, best of luck to you. We're looking forward to a sharp competition. I was here last year and I was blown away by the quality of the students, and I'm sure tonight is going to be no exception. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Suku, for those kind remarks and for words of wisdom that you have given. Speaking about a village, yes, we all live in a village, and so therefore we are going to go forward, working together hand in hand, the private sector with the government and all concerned, working in unison, endeavoring to get the very best for our children. That's the bottom line of what we need to work towards. So thank you, sir. We now call upon Mrs. Tammy Hopkins, our Senior School Improvement Officer for Cayman Brack and Cayman, and also the Acting Chief Education Officer, to please come and bring remarks. Mrs. Hopkins.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor and privilege to be here tonight. Last year, Ms. Waller was also away on official business, and I was honored to ask to come out to that one at John Gray in the hall. And we had some competitors from Cayman Brack, and we also had some competitors in John Gray, and I recognize some of them tonight. And, you know, in this technological age, where we have smartphones, and we have WhatsApp, and we have BBM, and we have text messages, I too find myself falling into the trap of using icons to represent words, U to represent Y-O-U, heart to represent love, and then when you go to a formal letter or email, you find yourself drawing a blank. I am reminded also of Old MacDonald. There is a commercial, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but where he's asked to spell the word cow, and he says C-O-W-A-E-I-O-U. And my husband has helped me out. It goes with the song. So we're surrounded by all sorts of influences where spelling, we can use spell check in our official emails and letters, and we depend on them. But I applaud the efforts of the children who over the summer took up their spelling book. Through perseverance and dedication, all the things that have been going around them, dedicated their time that they were going to study. And then an email came out from the department with a change in rules, making the competition even stiffer. And I know there was a panic on the part of parents and the teachers, but guess what? These fine young men and women who rose to the challenge, who represent their schools tonight, persevered. They are dedicated. They went through the semifinals. They're here tonight. We have Cayman Brack represented, and we have Grand Cayman with John Gray. And even though one of you will emerge top place, second place for another, and third place, Your perseverance and dedication to the process, to the journey of your spelling preparation is highly recognized by all of us in this room tonight. And I know for parents and teachers, it has been a task, because I went through it when my sons were going through in the primary school. And sometimes it was more work on the part of parents and teachers than the students. But I know these individuals are dedicated. They're interested. They've shown that interest because year after year, we've seen them come back. So tonight, I want to wish you all the best. No matter who comes first, whether it's through a spell-off, who places the champion school that emerges here tonight, you have all done well and we are proud of you. And with any relationship, 31 years, partnerships, 31 years, I must say, is a very long time. And the Lions Club of Grand Cayman is applauded also by us at the Department of Education Services. Without your continued support and sponsorship, and all the others that you have brought online with you, those true partnerships have emerged through difficulty, through economic constraints. Our children still come and compete, and they are rewarded for their efforts. So all of you here tonight, as part of the Lions Club, we want to thank you, and we look forward to that continued partnership. So I'm going to close now, after giving you a little bit of encouragement here tonight to say, we are proud of all of you, give it your best shot, and just persevere through this event tonight also. Thank you.
Well said, Mrs. Hopkins, well said. Thanks for giving the young people that little background and those words of encouragement, because this evening is about encouragement so that our children can do their best. We're looking forward to see you excel and do your best, and that's all we require of you, is doing your best. Next, we call our Lions President, Lion Rail Roberts, President of the Lions Club of Grand Cayman. Please come forward and bring remarks.
Good evening. I'd like to first say that my speechwriter was off today, so as I sit with my friends and their nice speech documents. I want to just come up and tell you how proud we are as Lions to be able to bring, for 31 years, such an important event to this community. To encourage children to enter a spelling bee competition has several benefits. Not only does it provide valuable education and experience for your child, but it allows them to engage in healthy competition, as we've heard so much of. But there are many other benefits also of having a spelling bee and why we have invested for 31 years, and I haven't heard any rumors that it won't be 32 or 33. First, learning grammar. And for any of you who's sat here and heard what is about to happen, and it doesn't happen with the little red line that you can just click and it gives you a whole bunch of options. These people young people are going to spell some words that I didn't even know existed, so I don't need to show how they know how to spell. But we learn grammar, and in that learning process, that allows our children to learn the definition, the pronunciation, and the root of many of the words. And I think that is important. It enhances their vocabulary. You see, the learning outcome of the spelling bee results in children gaining competency over vocabulary. This allows them to excel at reading and excel at writing. The ability to understand more words will allow your children to become more literate, as Kristen spoke, and enjoy reading as an extensive range of materials. And one of the things that we have is a Lion Story Hour, and that's in the public libraries. And it's so interesting how many of our children, because we have the computers that are at home, are no longer going into the public libraries and reading. So I'm going to plug that now and just encourage all of you parents and all you children to go back and get the library card and start back reading. As you said, the competition will foster a competitive spirit. It allows individuals to be able to have friendly competition, friendly rivalry, and encourage us to interact as fellow participants and create greater friendships. Already I heard Christian with the talk about, he's not going to be biased. It wasn't until the other day I recognized that there were more schools on this island than Cayman Islands high schools. That was the only school that we went to. But of course, it is unbelievable to me every time I come to see that we're always in the competition, at a chance to actually come out on top. The spelling bee allows our students to learn words that, as I said, they can trace the origin and enhance the knowledge base of our child. It allows us to have cognitive skills. You see, the learning process that accompanies the spelling bee is likely to enhance your child's memory and allow your child to develop better learning skills, which can prove to be highly beneficial during their higher education. If you listen to the words, it definitely instills confidence. Confidence at a level that allows us to boost our understanding, not just spelling, but other areas of our life. It helps them gain the confidence they need to speak publicly, accept their mistakes, and also getting the applause their hard work deserves. So please, this evening, be generous with your applause. And even if your child does not win, or for those who are here, even if you don't win, it is important to remember that a spelling bee competition can result in a range of benefits ranging from higher confidence to vocabulary, and you will, just through going through this process, be a winner. It is because of these reasons, for 31 years, the Lions Club of Grand Cayman are proud to be behind this spelling bee. So this evening, on behalf of the club, I'd like to thank you, both the organizers from the club as well as the education department. To the young participants, I want to congratulate you in making it this far, and good luck for the rest of the journey. It is a competition, so I encourage you to do your best, but in the end, know that you're a winner for taking the time to go through this process. For the parents, the volunteers, and the supporters this evening, I want to say thank you for your attendance, and may the competition be enjoyable. Good evening.
Tonight, you are center stage. Welcome to being center stage. We are going to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing you spell words. All of us out here, parents and all, because you have earned the title of being in a good position to be the winner of this evening's function, this evening's spelling bee. So, each of you have done your best thus far, and you shall continue to do so. We want you to do so, and we'll be praying for you. So, we want you to try and calm the nerves, still the nerves as best you can. Listen carefully to Miss Jackson as she articulates the word to you, so you can hear clearly. And remember, there are certain things I will just run you through the rules, so you can remember what you need to do. But again, I want to remind you of this thing. Please speak into the mic so that the judges can hear each letter as you spell the word. If not, it can be confusing to them, and it may be that they hear the wrong thing or think they hear the wrong thing, and you get it incorrect, whereas you have spelled it correctly. We don't hope that will happen, but if it's not articulated clearly, it can happen. Okay, so that's what we're asking you to do, young people, this evening. Moving on, I need to now explain to you the rules. The rules are simple. You've been through it before. Many of you have seen before. You've been in competitions. The primary school competition and now the secondary school. And last year, many of you were here. I recognize you from last year. You're all in your uniforms. You are the right age for this competition. We've checked that all out, so you're in good standing there. It's oral competition. You cannot write. Nobody has a pen or anything to write anything with. On reminding you of when you attempt to spell a word, after you've heard the word, remember you can ask for a definition, you can ask for the origin, or you can ask for it to be said in a sentence. Those are 3 options that you have. And of course, if you want to ask the spell master, please repeat the word. She will gladly do that as well for you, so you can remember what word you are to focus on. Having started to spell the word, you may stop in the middle or stop after the first or second letter that you call and ask the spell master, can I start over? She will grant you that. But here's the trick in that. If you start to spell the word and you stop partway through, you have to, in going back to spell, to retrace, you have to use the same sequence. If you change the sequence, whether you will spell it correctly the first time or incorrectly the first time, if you cannot change the sequence, it will be marked incorrectly by the judge if you change the sequence. Okay? So remember that. Try and think first before you start to spell, so you don't make errors in that regard. On the homonyms, there are quite a number of them in the evening spelling bee. Those are words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently. That's what you need to also bear in mind. If you do not have the definition, you do not ask or did not receive the definition of the word, then either one that you spell will be counted correct. But if you do ask, or if the definition is given, then you have to spell that word that the definition is given to you on. Okay? That's on your homonyms. I said earlier, you may request that a word be defined or used in a sentence, or you may ask for the origin of the word. You are given 30 seconds from the time you start with the first letter until you end it. If you take 31 or 32 seconds, and even though you spell it correctly, the judges will mark it wrong, because you have to spell it within 30 seconds or less. The judges may disqualify any contestant who ignores a request to start spelling. 1 point is awarded to the speller for every word spelled correctly. And this evening, you will be given 4 words in each of the rounds. Now 4 rounds, so 4 fours. When I used to go to school, translates to 16. So you can get a total of 16 points if you spell all of your words correctly this evening. The quiz shall constitute of 4 rounds, just like that, at the end of which the scores will be totaled, and the first, second, and third place winners will be determined. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done. Last night was a classical example. We had 5 persons tying for first place. 5. So we had to have a tiebreaker with those 5 persons to narrow it down. We got down to 4, then 3, and then we had to shoot for 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. And we eventually arrived at that in the end. In the event that there is a tie between 2 or more, like we did last night, we had 5, not just 2, the procedure changes. As soon as one speller misses a word, the other contestant shall be given an opportunity to spell the word. If that person spells the word, then they're given another word to spell. If they spell that correctly, then they're declared the winner. Okay? The judges then ascertains whether or not the word can be spelled as given by the first speller. If it is found to be misspelled, the second contestant, having spelled the word correctly, shall be declared the champion upon correct spelling the next word given. And I'm repeating myself, I said it earlier, and I'm reading as well for emphasis. The judges are in complete control of the spelling bee. Their decision shall be final. And so, if someone challenges something, please don't come to me. Please go to the judges. I am not the person to come to rectify anything. It is the judges. It falls outside my remit. I am sort of just the facilitator, MC, call it what you may of this. But the judges, their decision is final. And in order for a query to be valid, you have to do it while things are still active. At the first break, you go to the judges, you register your complaint, they will deal with it, and however they deal with it is good and fine. So it's no good coming to me to complain or to say something, because I will have to refer you back to the judges. That's their turf, not mine. So any question related to the spelling of a word must be referred to the judges immediately. No protest can be entertained at the end or termination of the spelling bee. With that, those are the instructions, those are the words that I bring to you from our rules, which will circulate to all schools, and you are familiar with because you've been in competitions before. I just want to make a little announcement before I call our spellmaster to come and start with the warm-up words, and then after 2 warm-up words, you'll go into the regular spelling bee words. The Leos, like the Lions, are very important in the Caymanian community. The Leos Club, this Friday, December 5th, which is tomorrow, 2014, will, day after tomorrow, today is, I was thinking it was, day after tomorrow. So the next 2 days. The Ebola disaster that's in many of our, quite a number of our African countries, is being addressed by the Leo Club here and asking for sponsorship and for donations. So they will be out asking for your support. I will encourage you to please do so, because like you Lions who have done this wonderful community job for 31 years, we also want to reach out beyond our borders to others who are in need. And the persons who are being affected by Ebola in some of our African nations do need financial assistance, and if Cayman can give a lending hand, we should do so. And the Lions and the Leos can acquaint you further with this. But I thought I would give this a little push, because it's important that we remember we are a part of what Mr. Suku said, that global village. And so we're not just a village here in Cayman, isolated to the rest of the world. We're a part of the global village, and our African brothers and sisters need us at this time for some assistance. With those few remarks, and I will call Ms. Jessica Jackson, our spellmaster. Please come and take us through the rest of the process. Thank you.
Good evening. Okay, spellers, just quickly a reminder, I will say each word twice. After I've said the word, please repeat it back so that I know you have heard it correctly. Sometimes it's hard to hear with the microphones and the speakers, so please make sure you repeat the word. And as you know, you can of course ask for a definition, or if you'd like me to use the word in a sentence. Just a reminder from everyone at the judges table to please speak directly into the microphone so that they can hear each and every letter that you're saying. And sometimes it's a good idea to speak a little slower as well so they can hear you, okay? We know that you've all been practicing very, very hard, and we wish you all the very best of luck. We are going to start with our warm-up words, and we'll each do 2 words before we get into round 1. Okay, Dylan, your word is paragraphs. Paragraphs.
Paragraphs. Paragraphs. G-R-A-P-H-S, paragraphs.
Gabriella, your word is available. Available.
Available. A-V-A-I-L-A-B-L-E. Available.
Thomas, your word is indicate. Indicate.
Indicate. I-N-D-I-C-A-T-E.
Aaron, your word is concussion. Concussion.
Concussion. C-O-N-C-U-S-S-I-O-N. Concussion.
Torianne, your word is majestic. Majestic.
Majestic. M-A-J-E-S-T-I-C. Majestic.
Alec, your word is afternoon. Afternoon.
Afternoon. A-F-T-E-R-N-O-O-N. Afternoon.
Dylan, your word is documenting. Documenting.
Documenting. D-O-C-U-M-E-N-T-I-N-G. Documenting.
Gabriella, your word is balcony. Balcony.
Balcony. B-A-L-C-O-N-Y. Balcony.
Thomas, your word is unwanted. Unwanted.
Unwanted. U-N-W-A-N-T-E-D.
Aaron, your word is anxious. Anxious.
Anxious. A-N-X-I-O-U-S. Anxious.
Tony Ann, your word is bookkeeper. Bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper. B-O-O-K-K-E-E-P-E-R. Bookkeeper.
Alec, your word is journey. Journey.
Journey. J-A-U-R-N-E-Y. Journey.
Okay, spellers, starting with round one, word one. Dylan, your word is encroach. Encroach.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Encroach.
Encroach. E-N-C-R-O-A-C-H. Encroach.
Gabriella, your word is fascinate. Fascinate.
Fascinate. F-A-S-C-I-N-A-T-E. Fascinate.
Thomas, your word is justiciaries. Justiciaries.
Justiciaries. J-U-S-T-I-C-I-A-R-I-E-S.
Aaron, your word is magenta. Magenta.
Magenta. M-A-G-E-N-T-A. Magenta.
Tony Ann, your word is gypsum. Gypsum.
Gypsum. G-Y-P-S-U-M. Gypsum.
Alec, your word is contraposition. Contraposition.
Contraposition. C-O-N-T-R-A-P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. Contraposition.
Dylan, back to you for word two. Your word is demean. Demean.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, territory or domain of a sovereign or landed property.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Demean.
Demean. D-E-M-E-S-N-E. Demean.
Gabriella, your word is lasagna. Lasagna.
Lasagna. L-A-S-A-G-N-E. Lasagna.
Thomas, your word is calligraphy. Calligraphy.
Calligraphy. C-A-L-L-I-G-R-A-P-H-Y.
Aaron, your word is buoyant. Buoyant.
Buoyant. B-U-O-Y-A-N-T. Buoyant.
Tony Ann, your word is grudgingly. Grudgingly.
Grudgingly. G-R-U-D-G-I-N-G-L-Y. Grudgingly.
Alec, your word is terriginous. Terriginous.
May I have the definition, please?
Adjective, produced by the earth or the land.
May I have it in a sentence, please?
Much of the sediment at the bottom of the sea is terrigenous deposit from neighboring lands.
Repeat that, please.
Terrigenous.
Terrigenous. T-E-R-R-I-G-E-N-O-U-S. Terrigenous.
Dylan, back to you. Your word is caftan. Caftan.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, type of long, loose-fitting robe, long, loose dress.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Caftan.
Caftan. C-A-F-T-A-N. Caftan.
Gabriella, your word is isosceles. Isosceles.
Can I have a definition, please?
Adjective of a triangle having two sides equal.
Can you repeat the word?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. I-S-O-S-C-E-L-E-S. Isosceles.
Thomas, your word is obligatory. Obligatory.
Obligatory. O-B-L-I-G-A-T-O-R-Y.
Aaron, your word is judicature. Judicature.
Judicature. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, judges collectively the administration of justice.
Judicature. J-U-D-I-C-A-T-U-R-E. Judicature.
Tony Ann, your word is brazier. Brazier.
Brazier. B-R-A-S-S-I-E-R-E. Brazier.
Alec, your word is efficiency. Efficiency.
Efficiency. Can I have it in a sentence, please?
She is admired for her efficiency as a teacher.
Efficiency. E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-C-Y. Efficiency.
Word 4, back to you, Dylan. Your word is braggart. Braggart.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, one who boasts a lot.
Braggart. B-R-A-G-G-A-R-T. Braggart.
Gabriella, your word is bougainvillea. Bougainvillea.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, tropical plant with highly colored bracts.
Can you repeat the word?
Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. B-O-U-G-A-I-N-V-I-L-L-E-A. Bougainvillea.
Thomas, your word is xenophobia. Xenophobia.
May I have the meaning, please?
Noun, deep dislike or fear of foreigners or strangers.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Aaron, your word is indices. Indices.
Indices. Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, another plural for index, mathematical sense, symbol, number, sign.
Indices. INDICES. Indices.
Tony Ann, your word is juggernaut. Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. Juggernaut. Juggernaut.
Alec, your word is neurotic. Neurotic.
Neurotic. NEUROTIC. Neurotic.
Dylan, back to you. We're on to round 2, word 1. Dylan, your word is interferometer. Interferometer.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, instrument for measuring wavelengths.
Interferometer. INTERFEROMETER. Interferometer.
Gabriella, your word is orator. Orator.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, eloquent, skillful, public speaker.
Can you repeat the word?
Orator.
Orator. ORATOR. Orator.
Thomas, your word is rheumatism. Rheumatism.
Rheumatism. RHEUMATISM.
Aaron, your word is electrocardiogram. Electrocardiogram.
Electrocardiogram. ELECTROCAREIOGRAM. Electrocardiogram.
Tony Ann, your word is belvedere. Belvedere.
Belvedere. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, a summer house or open-sided or glazed gallery on the top of a roof.
Belvedere. BELVEDERE. Belvedere.
Alec, your word is picturesque. Picturesque.
Picturesque. PICTURESQUE. Picturesque.
Moving on to word 2. Dylan, your word is sycophancy. Sycophancy.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, self-seeking or several flattery.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Sycophancy.
Sycophancy. SYCOPHANCY. Sycophancy.
Gabriella, your word is euphorbia. Euphorbia.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, type of flowering plant, including spurges, plants with milky juice.
Can you repeat the word?
Euphorbia.
Euphorbia. EUPHORBIA. Euphorbia.
Thomas, your word is jacinth. Jacinth.
Jacinth. JACINTH.
Aaron, your word is obstinately. Obstinately.
Obstinately. T-I-N-A-T-E-L-Y, obstinately.
Tony Ann, your word is jettisoned. Jettisoned.
Jettison. Jettisoned. Jettisoned.
Alec, your word is nephology. Nephology.
Nephology. N-A-P-H-O-L-O-G-Y. Nephology.
Moving on to word 3. Dylan, we're back to you. Your word is usurped. Usurped.
Usurped. U-S-U-R-P-E-D. Usurped.
Gabriella, your word is baguette. Baguette.
Can I have the sentence?
Baguette with soup was a special treat.
Baguette. B-A-G-U-E-T-T-E. Baguette.
Thomas, your word is cynics. Cynics.
May I have the meaning?
Noun, persons known to have little faith in human sincerity and goodness.
Cynics. C-Y-N-I-C-S.
Aaron, your word is absquatulated. Absquatulated.
Absquatulated. A-B-S-Q-U-A-T-U-L-A-T-E-D. Absquatulated.
Tony Ann, your word is concrescence. Concrescence.
Concrescence. Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, biology, growing together of initially separate parts. Coalescence.
Concrescence. C-O-N-C-R-E-S-E-N-C-E. Concrescence.
Alec, your word is sleuth. Sleuth.
Sleuth. May I have the meaning, please?
Noun or verb, detective, bloodhound, to track or follow.
Sleuth. S-L-E-U-T-H. Sleuth.
Moving on to word 4. Dylan, your word is censorious. Censorious.
Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective, severely critical, fault finding.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Censorious.
Censorious. C-E-N-S-O-R-I-O-U-S. Censorious.
Gabriella, your word is moisturizer. Moisturizer.
Moisturizer. M-O-I-S-T-U-R-I-Z-E-R. Moisturizer.
Thomas, your word is immensely. Immensely.
Immensely. May I have the meaning, please?
Adverb, very much, to an immense extent.
Immensely. I-N-E-N-S-E-L-Y.
Aaron, your word is burlesque. Burlesque.
Burlesque. Write the sentence, please.
The play was a burlesque which kept the audience laughing.
Burlesque. B-U-R-L-E-S-Q-U-E. Burlesque.
Tony Ann, your word is dysfunction. Dysfunction.
Dysfunction. D-Y-S-F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N. Dysfunction.
Alec, your word is ensemble. Ensemble.
Ensemble. E-N-S-E-N-B-L-E. Ensemble.
Spellers, that brings us to the conclusion of round 2. So we're going to take about a 5 to 7 minute break. If you need to use the washroom, now would be the time. You can take a little stretch break and we'll come back for rounds 3 and 4. On to round 3, word 1. Dylan, your word is supererogation. Supererogation.
Supererogation. SUPEREROGATION. Supererogation.
Gabriella, your word is turbulent. Turbulent.
Can I have a definition, please?
Adjective, disturbed, restless, in commotion.
Can you repeat the word?
Turbulent.
Turbulent. TURBULENT. Turbulent.
Thomas, your word is ruggedness. Ruggedness.
May I have the definition, please?
Noun, roughness, unevenness, lacking refinement.
Ruggedness. RUGGEDNESS.
Aaron, your word is hydropathy. Hydropathy.
Another definition, please.
Noun, treatment of a disease or illness by using large amounts of water internally and externally.
May I have the origin, please?
Greek.
Hydropathy. HYDROPATHY. Hydropathy.
Tony Ann, your word is jujube. Jujube.
Juju. JUJUBE. Juju.
Alec, your word is accelerometer. Accelerometer.
Accelerometer. ACCELEROMETER. Accelerometer.
Dylan, your word is hypnotize. Hypnotize.
Can I have the definition, please?
Verb, put in a trance, put under a spell.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Hypnotize.
Hypnotize. HYPNOTISE. Hypnotize.
Gabriella, your word is dermatologist. Dermatologist.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, specialist in study and treatment of skin diseases.
Dermatologist. DERMATOLOGIST. Dermatologist.
Thomas, your word is caucus. Caucus.
May I have the meaning, please?
Noun, meeting of group, especially in a political party, to make decisions.
CAUCOUS.
Aaron, your word is juvenilia. Juvenilia.
Juvenilia. JUVENILIA. Juvenilia.
Tony Ann, your word is ignoramus. Ignoramus.
Ignoramus. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, ignorant person.
Ignoramus. May I have the word in a sentence, please?
It is unwise to accept the word of an ignoramus.
Ignoramus. Ignoramus. Ignoramus.
Alec, your word is dachshund. Dachshund.
Repeat the word, please.
Dachshund.
May I have the definition, please?
Noun, breed of dog with short legs and long bodies.
Can I have it in a sentence, please?
The dachshund was used to hunt other animals.
Dachshund. DASCHUND. Dachshund.
Moving on to word 3. Dylan, your word is whippet. Whippet.
Whippet. Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, a dog of a small, slender breed.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Whippet.
Whippet. W-H-I-P-P-E-T. Whippet.
Gabriella, your word is quadrature. Quadrature.
Can I have a sentence, please?
As a mathematician, he had no problems with quadrature.
Quadrature. Can I have definition?
Noun, the process of making a square or dividing in squares. Position of heavenly body in relation to another.
Quadrature. Q-U-A-D-R-A-T-U-R-E. Quadrature.
Thomas, your word is immaterial. Immaterial.
May I have the meaning, please?
Adjective, not important, not formed of matter.
Immaterial. I-M-M-A-T-E-R-I-A-L. Immaterial.
Aaron, your word is amanuensis. Amanuensis.
Amanuensis. A-N-U-E-N-S-I-S. Amanuensis.
Tony Ann, your word is anonymous. Anonymous.
Anonymous. A-N-O-N-Y-M-O-U-S. Anonymous.
Alec, your word is civility. Civility.
Civility. C-I-V-I-L-I-T-Y. Civility.
Moving on to word 4. Dylan, your word is acrophobia. Acrophobia.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, abnormal fear of heights.
Acrophobia. A-C-R-O-P-H-O-B-I-A. Acrophobia.
Gabriella, your word is quadriplegia. Quadriplegia.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, paralysis of hands and feet, all 4 limbs.
Can I have a sentence?
The quadriplegia resulted from an accident some years ago.
Quadriplegia. Q-U-A-D-R-I-P-L-E-G-I-A. Quadriplegia.
Thomas, your word is impasse. Impasse.
Impasse. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, deadlock, position from which progress is impossible.
Impasse. I-M-P-A-S-S-E. Impasse.
Aaron, your word is illustrious. Illustrious.
Illustrious. Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective, distinguished, famous, renowned.
Illustrious. I-L-L-U-S-T-R-I-O-U-S. Illustrious.
Tony Ann, your word is dystrophy. Dystrophy.
Dystrophy. D-Y-S-T-R-O-P-H-Y. Dystrophy.
Alec, your word is triptyque. Triptyque.
Triptyque. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, a customs permit serving as a passport for a motor vehicle.
Triptyque. May I have it in a sentence, please?
Modern export and landing papers have probably replaced the triptyque of former years.
Triptyque. T-R-I-P-T-I-Q-U-E. Triptyque.
We're just going to take a short break and let the judges compare the results, and then we'll move on to round 4. Okay, Dylan. Word 1. Dylan, your word is accumulative. Accumulative.
Accumulative. Can I have a definition, please?
Adjective, becoming greater or over a period of time, building up. Cumulative.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Accumulative.
Accumulative. A-C-C-U-M-U-L-A-T-I-V-E. Accumulative.
Gabriella, your word is glaucoma. Glaucoma.
Can I have the sentence, please?
Glaucoma is a serious disease and should be treated very early.
Glaucoma. G-L-A-U-C-O-M-A. Glaucoma.
Thomas, your word is hypochondriac. Hypochondriac.
May I have the origin?
Greek.
Hypochondriac. Hypochondriac. Hypochondriac.
Aaron, your word is dutiable. Dutiable.
Dutiable. Can I have a definition, please?
Adjective, liable to customs or other duties.
Dutiable. D-U-T-I-A-B-L-E. Dutiable.
Tony Ann, your word is claudication. Claudication.
Claudication. C-L-A-U-D-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. Claudication.
Alec, your word is dashiki. Dashiki.
Dashiki. D-A-S-H-I-K-I. Dashiki.
Moving on to word 2. Dylan, your word is oblique. Oblique.
Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective or noun, slanting, indirect, and oblique line.
Oblique. O-B-L-I-Q-U-E. Oblique.
Gabriella, your word is hydrangea. Hydrangea.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, shrub having clusters of white, pink, or blue flowers.
Hydrangea. H-Y-D-R-A-N-G-E-A. Hydrangea.
Thomas, your word is apostrophe. Apostrophe.
May I have the definition?
Noun, a punctuation mark showing possession or the omission of a word or number.
Apostrophe. O-P-O-S-T-R-O-P-H-E. Apostrophe.
Aaron, your word is omelette. Omelette.
Omelette. Can I have a sentence, please?
For breakfast, we had a cheese omelette.
Omelette. O-M-E-L-E-T-T-E. Omelette.
Tony Ann, your word is abysmal. Abysmal.
Abysmal. A-B-Y-S-M-A-L. Abysmal.
Alec, your word is emasculate. Emasculate.
Emasculate. E-M-A-S-C-U-L-A-T-E. Emasculate.
Word 3. Dylan, your word is horology. Horology.
Horology. H-O-R-O-L-O-G-Y. Horology.
Gabriella, your word is ocularist. Ocularist.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, maker of artificial eyes.
Ocularist. O-C-U-L-A-R-I-S-T. Ocularist.
Thomas, your word is hyena. Hyena.
May I get the definition, please?
Noun, a wild animal somewhat resembling a dog.
Hyena. H-Y-E-N-A. Hyena.
Aaron, your word is Benighted. Benighted.
Benighted. B-E-N-I-G-H-T-E-D. Benighted.
Tony Ann, your word is guillotine. Guillotine.
Guillotine. G-U-I-L-L-O-T-I-N-E. Guillotine.
Alec, your word is raucous. Raucous.
Raucous, may I have the meaning, please?
Adjective, harsh sounding, loud and hoarse.
Raucous. R-A-U-C-O-U-S. Raucous.
Dylan, moving on to word 4. Your word is batik. Batik.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, method of dyeing textile by applying wax. Cloth made by batik.
Batik. B-A-T-I-K. Batik.
Gabriella, your word is asininity. Asininity.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, stupidity, having the qualities of an ass.
Can I have the origin?
Latin.
Can I have the sentence?
The asininity of their talk was almost unbearable.
Asininity. A-S-I-N-I-N-I-T-Y. Asininity.
Thomas, your word is serviette. Serviette.
May I have the definition, please?
Noun, a napkin for use at the table.
Serviette. S-E-R-V-I-E-T-T-E. Serviette.
Aaron, your word is couture. Couture.
Couture. May I have the definition, please?
Noun, the design and manufacture of fashionable clothes.
Couture. C-O-U-T-U-R-E. Couture.
Tony Ann, your word is therapeutic. Therapeutic.
Therapeutic. May I have the definition, please?
Adjective, curative, relating to healing.
Therapeutic. T-H-E-R-A-P-E-U-T-I-C. Therapeutic.
Alec, your word is inertia. Inertia.
Inertia. I-N-E-R-T-I-A. Inertia.
Well, congratulations, spellers. Well done. That is the end of the 4th round, so we'll give our judges some time to confer with one another. However, I have a feeling we're probably going into a spell-off. So stay where you are as we wait for our judges.
Well done, contestants. We've been kind of spell off between the first place and second place between Dylan Tatum and Gabriella Rich.
I knew you guys were going to put me to work. Okay. Dylan, starting with you. Your word is tumultuous. Tumultuous.
Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective, noisy and enthusiastic, uproarious, disorderly.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Tumultuous.
Can I have the sentence?
The football team returned home to a tumultuous welcome.
Tumultuous. T-U-M-U-L-T-U-O-U-S. Tumultuous.
Gabriella, your word is specious. Specious.
Specious. S-P-E-C-I-O-U-S. Specious.
Dylan, your word is accoutrement. Accoutrement.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, equipment, trappings, soldier's outfit.
Can you repeat the word?
Accoutrement.
Accoutrement.
accoutrement. Accoutrement.
Gabriella, your word is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, person who undertakes a commercial venture.
Can you repeat the word?
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. E-N-T-R-E-P-R-E-N-E-U-R. Entrepreneur.
Dylan, your word is impromptu. Impromptu.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Impromptu.
Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective without preparation or rehearsal.
Impromptu. I-N-P-R-O-M-P-T-U. Impromptu.
Gabriella, your word is periodontics. Periodontics.
Periodontics. P-E-R-I-O-D-O-N-T-I-C-S. Periodontics.
Dylan, your word is beleaguered. Beleaguered.
Can I have the definition, please?
Adjective or verb, besieged, vexed, harassed.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Beleaguered.
Beleaguered. B-E-L-E-A-G-U-E-R-E-D. Beleaguered.
Gabriella, your word is neuritis. Neuritis.
Can I have the meaning, please?
Noun, inflammation of the nerves.
Neuritis. N-E-U-R-I-T-I-S. Neuritis.
Dylan, your word is hydraulic. Hydraulic.
Hydraulic. H-Y-D-R-A-U-L-I-C. Hydraulic.
Gabriella, your word is voluptuous. Voluptuous.
Can I have the sentence, please?
The movement of the dancer was slow and voluptuous.
Voluptuous. V-O-L-U-P-T-U-O-U-S. Voluptuous.
Dylan, your word is rudimentary. Rudimentary.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Rudimentary.
Can I have the sentence, please?
Everybody needs at least rudimentary knowledge of mathematics.
Rudimentary. R-U-D-I-M-E-N-T-A-R-Y. Rudimentary.
Gabriella, your word is arrearage. Arrearage.
Arrearage. A-R-R-E-A-R-A-G-E. Arrearage.
Dylan, your word is saboteur. Saboteur.
Saboteur. S-A-B-O-T-E-U-R. Saboteur.
Gabriella, your word is pertinacious. Pertinacious.
Can I have the origin, please?
Latin, pertineo, belong to.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Pertinacious.
Pertinacious. P-E-R-T-I-N-A-C-I-O-U-S. Pertinacious.
Dylan, your word is recidivism. Recidivism.
Can I have the definition, please?
Noun, a relapse into crime, the habit of turning back to crime.
Recidivism. R-E-C-I-D-I-V-I-S-M. Recidivism.
Gabriella, your word is chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. C-H-R-Y-S-A-N-T-H-E-M-U-M. Chrysanthemum.
Dylan, your word is Judaic. Judaic.
Judaic. J-U-D-A-I-C. Judaic.
Gabriella, your word is chronograph. Chronograph.
Chronograph. C-H-R-O-N-O-G-R-A-P-H. Chronograph.
Dylan, your word is efficacious. Efficacious.
Can I have a definition, please?
Adjective, producing or sure to produce the desired effect.
Efficacious. E-F-F-I-C-A-C-I-O-U-S. Efficacious.
Gabriella, your word is oleaceous. Oleaceous.
Oleaceous. O-L-E-A-C-E-O-U-S. Oleaceous.
Dylan, your word is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance.
Can I have a definition, please?
Noun, a survey of a region to get information about an enemy, weather, conditions, etc.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance. R-E-C-O-N-A-I-S-S-A-N-C-E. Reconnaissance.
Gabriella, your word is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance. R-E-C-O-N-N-A-I-S-S-A-N-C-E. Reconnaissance.
Gabriella, your word is transhumance. Transhumance.
Transhumance. T-R-A-N-S-H-U-M-A-N-C-E. Transhumance.
Well done. Okay, let's start with third place. Went to John Gray High School with Aaron Fernandez with a score of 15. Second place went to Lehman Scott High School, Dylan Tatum, sorry. And he had a score of 16. First place winner is Lehman Scott High. Oh, prize from line. Telephone? And our
And our first place goes to Cayman High School, Gabriella Rich with a perfect score of 16. She gets a trophy and a gift from Line. iPad. Gift from Line, an iPad. Now on to the school points. John Day High School finished in second place with 87 points. And the trophy goes to Cayman High School with a total of 91 points. Can the three school representatives on Lima Scott please come down and collect the trophy? Thomas.